or die, you're a mercenary. One of a kind, that's your burden to carry. Go and make them proud, do what's necessary. Oh no, do or die, you're a mercenary. Now the whole world's watching every move. Take your shot, don't act the fool. All you gotta do is one bullet in the chamber. Rain needs to take your game, boy. Ain't nobody gonna save you. So what you gonna do? One bullet in the chamber. Rain needs to take your game, boy. Ain't nobody gonna save you. So what you gonna do? Now the whole world's watching every move. Still your heart so much to prove.
If it's Thursday night, it's time for Mystic Racing League action. Welcome everyone, I'm Chris Smith, joined tonight in the Slingshot Racing Media booth by Sky Shrek, filling in for Ellis Thomas. Tonight, the Mystic Racing League Xfinity Series rolls the dice on race number 7 of the season, taking on this 1.5-mile D-shaped oval known for its high speeds, high drama, and high-risk moves. This track just isn't a stop on the schedule. It's a proving ground where speed, strategy, and a little bit of luck can make all the difference. Since its opening in 1996, the Las Vegas Motor Speedway has become one of the crown jewels of American motorsports. But its roots stretch back even further. Before this high-speed playground took shape, the land was home to a much smaller racing facility, the Las Vegas Speedrome, which featured a road course and a drag strip. That all changed when the current oval was built, making an immediate impact with its NASCAR debut in 1998. Over the years, this track has seen it all. Jeff Burton's dominant win in the first Cup race here, Jimmy Johnson's record-setting 4 straight victories, and even Kyle Busch's emotional hometown triumph in 2009. And it's not just stock cars that have left their mark on this track. IndyCar and sports car legends have battled it out here, with the Speedway once hosting a record-breaking land speed event where a jet-powered truck hit an eye-watering 376 miles per hour. It's also hosted everything from NHRA drag racing to the Electric Daisy Carnival, proving that in Vegas, the show never stops. Sky, in case you didn't know, Las Vegas police actually use this track to train officers for high-speed chases. And tonight, we're about to see our own game of cat and mouse unfold, as drivers push their luck, chase down the leader, and try to hit the jackpot in the Mystic Racing League. What's it going to take to escape the pack and roll into victory lane under the Vegas lights tonight?
It's going to take a little bit of luck here in Vegas, but a lot of skill as well. This track, 1.5 miles, higher bank than many 1.5 miles, and that produces a lot of great racing here. It's a bit of a colder track temp tonight, so drivers might not be worrying quite as much about tire wear as they otherwise would, and will instead be worrying about warming those tires up to make it the full race. Expected fuel window is about 30 laps, and the race distance is 117 laps tonight. A little bit of tire degradation expected, and a 3-stop race also expected with our 3 stages tonight, coming at laps 30, 70, and 117. It's going to be a really exciting race. You've got to run very consistent laps here. Make sure you're not pushing the tires too hard at this 1.5 miler. I think it's definitely going to be a great race here tonight. And as we get qualifying underway, we'll send it down trackside for the national anthem.
All right, back here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway in Las Vegas, Nevada, getting ready to set the action tonight here. 117 laps around this 1.5-mile D-shaped oval. But before we do that, Sky, let's go ahead and take a look at those points. And after last week, got a little bit of a tightening of the points right here. Bobby Rafferty wasn't here, or wasn't at Martinsville, excuse me, last week. So points leader has seen that lead shrink just a little bit, and I don't believe he's here tonight either. So this is a great opportunity race for drivers like Christian Barnes, Daniel Dow, and last week's winner, Evan Janik. We've been wondering when Evan Janik was going to win and get himself in victory lane, and he finally did last week, and I have a feeling that maybe we'll see the floodgates open for Evan tonight. That's definitely going to be a story that we keep our eyes on all night tonight. We'll actually get into that more here in just a second, but just to set the stage for tonight, Sky, got a few stories that we're going to keep our eyes on over the course of the evening tonight. Mainly tires. What do you have to do to look after your tires here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway?
Well, yeah, you have to be really consistent and really smooth. Your tire wear is always a problem at these bigger mile-and-a-half tracks. With the increased speeds, the higher banking, putting wear on these tires can be really difficult to manage them, especially over the course of 117 laps. But these drivers are given 3 extra sets in the pits. I think they're going to use all those extra sets tonight. They've got to be careful. They've got to make sure they don't burn them off too early into the stint, or else they might not have any left at the end.
Yeah, I think that's definitely going to be something to keep our eyes on all night tonight. And definitely a change of pace after the last 2 weeks. We could not be going to a more different track this week than we did last week and the week before. Coming from COTA, the twists and the turns of the road course, to the half-mile flat paperclip that was Martinsville to Las Vegas this week. So it's definitely going to be a change of pace from what you've seen here in past few weeks. We're also going to keep our eyes on Daniel Dow, see if maybe he can recover. He won the opening 2 races of the season, and we're going to try to keep our eyes on him tonight to see if maybe he can get back to form, back to where he was earlier this season. Final story that we'll keep our eyes on tonight, Sky, is the Highline risk versus reward. Talk to us a little bit about the Highline here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, and what are some of the risks that maybe you run into running that high lane here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway?
Yeah, you can run that high line to get speed down the straightaways, especially that back straightaway, but it can really wear the tires when you're pushing it up there. It's a longer distance around the racetrack as well, and when these drivers are as close on fuel as we expect them to be here at the end of stage 1, that could be the difference. You also always run the risk of hitting the wall here, and that's something you never want to do in these cars, because just a little bit of damage can set you off a long ways in speed.
It certainly can, and that's something that another story that we'll have to keep our eyes on all night tonight. Well, before we get going, Sky, we got to set the grid for tonight's race, and we got a little bit of a change in scenery tonight. We got some newer drivers in here that we haven't seen this season here in Mystic Racing League in the Xfinity Series at least, so we'll be learning some new names. If you're tuning in to join us in the chat, sort of help us out with those names. If you hear us maybe mispronouncing them, we want to try to get that right. Before we go any further, let's go ahead and set the starting grid for tonight's race. On the pole, the number 46 machine right there, Chris Medford with a great lap. On his outside, Evan Janik, last week's winner at Martinsville. Jacob Cochran going to roll off from the 3rd spot. Adam Holston in 4th in that number 8 machine. We've seen him be very consistent all season long. Starting in the 5th spot, that number 16, that is Aaron Espy, or Aaron Esp. I do apologize if we got it wrong. I don't believe we've called a race with Aaron this season. Joshua Gillen with a great qualifying run tonight. Looks like he's going to drop to the back. He's going to start 6th, but maybe he is going to decide to start in the back. Not sure about that. Starting in 7th, we got Brandon Berardi. In the 8th spot, Malcolm Capo. We got Alex Pollock in the 9th spot, and Brandon Medford in the 10th spot. Scott, do you want to take it from here?
Absolutely, rounding out the rest of your field here. We got Zach White in the 77 rolling off 11th. Caleb Hunt in the 78 in 12th. Douglas Wysocki in the 11 rolls off 13th. Derek Jewett in the 45, 14th tonight. Bradley Knopsnyder 15th in the 87. Brett Rinn 16th in the 24. David Moyer 17th in the 47. Aiden Tebow 18th in the 13. And back there in row 10, it's going to be Robert McKay, 19th in the 88, and Reggie Keem, 20th in the number 9 car.
Rounding out the field, we got Michael Wade in that 3 machine. Christian Barnes, very consistent in the last few weeks, rolling off 22nd. Gavin Henson also been very fast here as of late. He's going to roll off 23rd. And shotgun on the field tonight. Brandon Willard and that number 12 Subway Machine. Going to see if he can maybe be our hard charger for the race tonight, starting in that final spot.
Well, he's got a lot of cars ahead of him if he wants to get that hard charger.
He sure does. And, you know, Sky, here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, you can pass. You know, there is progressive banking here. So I don't know what you expect, but I think that it might be, you know, reasonable to assume we're going to see cars all over this track from the bottom lane to the top lane tonight.
Oh, for sure. This is definitely a track where you can use multiple lanes. We mentioned the top being kind of risky, but you can definitely make speed on it versus the bottom, which is a little bit of a safer line, but under certain circumstances can be a little slower. I think we'll see cars in the middle too, especially trying to take the run away from someone they're trying to pass on the outside. This is a track kind of like Kansas where you can run a lot of different lines on it, and that makes it really good.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're going to see drivers all over this track tonight, and the bumps. We can't forget about the bumps when we talk about Las Vegas Motor Speedway. It is bumpy, especially down in turns 1 and 2, so we're going to see how that upsets these Xfinity cars tonight. As the field works its way through turns 3 and 4, Pace Car is going to make that hard left turn onto pit road, and that's going to leave the field in the hands of our pole sitter, Chris Medford. And as they work their way towards the start-finish line, green flag is out. We are underway here in Las Vegas. Medford with a nice jump out in front of Jacob Cochran. Jacob Cochran made his series debut last week at Martinsville and impressed a lot of people. And here he is tonight in the second spot with another great qualifying run. See if he can back up that speed again this week, as Sky, these drivers are already all over the racetrack.
Yeah, you see the top couple cars running the bottom, but further back we've got some tight battling going on. Car all the way down on the apron there in fifth. That's Berardi in the 85. Cars making moves everywhere. Oh, one already in the wall trying to ride that top line. That can't be the danger. That's the 92 of Alex Pollock, and he's going to go from inside the top 10. And car around 87.
That's Bradley Knopsnyder into that inside wall. We're still green here. Let's just see if we can see what transpired right there for the 87. And we caught it when he was a little bit around right there. But yeah, I think that they were possibly trying to avoid that slow car on the outside there, Sky.
I think they might have been, because Pollard was losing so many positions. He dropped about 10 spots there after that wall hit. They were checking up, trying to keep it out of him, and I think that's probably what led to that accident.
I think that is definitely a safe bet. Up here at the front of the field, we got Chris Medford right here, leading the way in that 46 machine. A little bit of a breakaway for those top three. You got Jacob Cochran in the in the second spot. Evan Janik in the third spot. And then it's really tight here from about fourth on back. Aaron Espy, followed by Brandon Berardi, followed by Derek Jewett. Derek Jewett looking to turn around the past couple weeks for him. He has had some rotten luck. He caught up in some racing incidents. So he's going to be looking to rebound this week.
And he spoke about moving through the field. Derek Jewett started this race in 14th, already up to 6th. He's gone 8 spots here in the first 4 laps of this race. That car is really quick. He might be using up the tires a little more than he'd like to get it done, but in the early stages of this stint, definitely one of the fastest cars on the track.
Oh, and he does. The wall. Yeah, he tags the wall right there off of turn 2. We saw him right there through turns 1 and 2 as there's a battle up ahead of him right here. That's between Brandon Berardi and Aaron Espy. That's a battle for the 4th spot. We saw him running a little bit lower. We're going to ride on board with him again through 1 and 2 right here. Saw him running lower than those guys ahead. And Sky, is he just trying to, or those guys ahead maybe that are running that middle lane to top lane, are they trying to get out of the bumps down here in 1 and 2 by running up there?
Definitely could, because you're seeing on the in-car there how much Derek is having to wheel that thing to hold on as the car kind of flattens out over those bumps. Can be really tricky here in Vegas, especially on this inside line. He's almost going to lose it there again. I think definitely running about that kind of half lane up is the tactic to avoid getting the car as loose as the 45 is getting.
Definitely right there. Evan Janik, pretty high up the track right here in turns 1 and 2. He's trying to get way up above those bumps right there. Oh, it's some contact in the wall. Several cars in the wall there off of turn 2, it looked like.
To follow the leader, everybody's following the car in front of him. One car hits the walls. Next thing you know, you got about 4 of them in the fence.
Absolutely, and keep our eyes right here on Evan Janik to see maybe if he's able to utilize that momentum of that top lane. If he decides to stick with it, he's going to go down a little bit higher. Yeah, I think that maybe Jacob Cochran saw him running that lane, decided to go up high, and Evan Janik says, all right, well, I'll take the bottom. Seems like it's all about maybe trying to keep some clean air on that nose.
That will definitely help. The 84 didn't get a great run out of the corner that time around, and that's what's really going to allow Evan Janik to pull up into that second place position for the time being. Now he's going to look to chase down Chris Medford up there, leader of the race. We'll get a little close further back there. Berardi's going all the way down on the apron trying to make time on Aaron-esque.
Yeah, here's a new name that I don't believe that we've seen this season, Sky. This is Brandon Berardi in that 05 machine, and if this is another series debut right here that we think that it is, that's a very, very impressive debut for the 05 machine. So awesome to see that. It's awesome to see so many drivers joining in. We got a battle right here. Looks like possibly for the 9th spot. That's Brandon Medford. I'm going to guess there maybe is a connection between Chris and Brandon right there, as he's going to work around Caleb Hunt for that 9th spot.
Oh, and he's in the fence a little bit. We have seen a lot of cars clobber that fence out of turn 2 today. Seems really easy to just slide up the track on exit, misjudge it a little bit, and paint the wall with that right side. The first time you do it, it might not be bad, but if you keep hitting that wall over and over again, you could get some damage on that car that you certainly don't want.
Absolutely. Just to keep all of our viewers apprised to the stage situation for tonight, we have a stage break at lap 30. That will mark the end of stage 1. Stage break at the lap 70 mark. Running 58% fuel tonight, so we're going to see how far these drivers can stretch it. I hear that it might be a little bit close for stage 1. It doesn't look like everybody can make it to the end of the final stage on fuel from the inside information that I received, so that's going to make things definitely interesting towards the end of this thing as we're working lap 12, almost at the halfway point of this first stage.
Yeah, might be a little close, but these drivers aren't driving like it. We got a battle for second further up the track. This was a battle for the lead. Janik managed to get it side by side with Chris Medford, but he didn't have the speed on the bottom. Lost a little bit of time, and Jacob Cochran was able to challenge him there. Janik's going to hold the spot for now, but these are 3 cars racing really hard in the front of the pack for the lead of this race.
Oh, a lot of contact into the wall right there off of turn 2. As here comes Janik back to the inside of Medford. Going to try to complete the pass on the 46 machine. 71's digging on the bottom right there in turns 3 and 4, but here comes Medford with that momentum from the top lane. That progressive banking here really paying off for that 46.
Get so much more speed down the straightaway, and that really allows you to even it out. 46, he's a little bit quicker as that 71 looked like he moved up the track to avoid the bumps there. As these two continue to go at it, Jacob Cochran is waiting in the wings. He might just try to follow through whichever driver gets the spot, or force it 3 wide if he's really feeling the pass.
Yeah, Jacob Cochran last week was the only driver that could really challenge Evan Janik, and Evan Janik dominated the action last week at Martinsville, so that was our first time. So we can really see Janik look right there. You see that car sliding a little bit right there on that bottom lane. Sky, like you mentioned before, it just seems like these drivers, when they get inside of another driver, especially down in turns 1 and 2, it is really difficult to complete that pass.
We're 3 wide right here because Aaron-esque has sent it up the inside. He's trying to get that 3rd position, and it doesn't work out. That inside line is really loose. I think it's looser than the middle and the top. So the drivers down there are really having to put a little extra wheel in it to try to keep it straight. We're running all different lines. We've got Medford about 1 off the bottom. Janik's running it all the way up on the wall. Cochran's down right on that yellow line, or right on the white line here. This is a really close battle, and Esp is almost into the back of Cochran. trying to get position there out of 4.
That was super close right there between Cochran and Esp. Everybody trying to get every single inch that they can possibly get out here at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. See, Chris Medford right here looks like, well, no, I think that he was just trying to take his wide. Oh, and look at that 84 slide up in turns 1 and 2. Almost make contact with Evan Janik.
And that's going to allow Aaron Esp to the point. He's going to move it up the inside here. He's looking for third on that 84 car, and he'll get the position. However, Jacob Cochran comes straight back on the crossover. He's going to dive it all the way down on the apron to try to cut that dog leg like it's Phoenix and get a little extra speed. He'll challenge right back for third, and he'll take it into turns 1 and 2.
And look how he slides up, Sky. Slides up right in front of that 16 machine. That's almost what you... Oh, as things get really jumbled up there. That's Derek Jewett all the way to the inside right there in the 45. That was really, really close right there. It seems like that's almost what you have to do if you want to try to complete the pass on the bottom, is that you almost have to charge the corner and do a slide job. Maybe slide up in front of that guy and maybe take his line away.
Yeah, it can be really, really difficult for these drivers to make moves here because the defending on the top can work if you're able to take away their speed. Aaron Esp has lost a couple spots now, back to 6, side by side with Brandon Mefford, the other Mefford in the field for 5th, and that 21 car will take the spot. 2 Meffords now in the top 5.
That's right, both the Meffords here in the top 5. Not sure if they're brothers or not, but we're willing to bet that they might possibly be related. Don't want to assume anything, but they both definitely have speed tonight. Brandon started a little bit further back than Chris in the field, but he is quickly joining the fray right here as we got about 10 laps to go here in this first stage. Looks like Chris Medford is actually approaching a little bit of lap traffic right here. I believe that is the 87 of Bradley Knopfsnyder after that early incident. Good news for Bradley is I don't think there's any other driver that is in danger of going a lap down for this stage, as long as everything plays out like it is. So if he does get lapped here, he got a little bit of damage to the rear of that Valvoline Ford. He might be in prime position to get that lucky dog free pass.
That does look like it'll be what he gets, so that'll really help him out here. This is still going for second. It's Jacob Cochran looking up the inside of Evan Janik up there on the top in this battle. Ain't done yet. It doesn't look like it's going to be done until we hit the stage. With about, I'd say that's 9 to go until the stage caution. These two are going at it.
Yeah, they are riding on board the roof right here of Evan Janik's machine, looking back at Jacob Cochran. I'm seeing that Swedish fish the last 2. Oh, and he's going to get right up on him. I think there might have been a little bit of contact right there in the center of 3 and 4. If not, it was so very close. Seeing that Swedish fish the last couple weeks there, Sky, it's really making me crave some Swedish fish. I'm not going to lie.
I was hungry going into
this
this
some contact!
Oh my goodness, lap car into the 84. 87's going to get slow. Caution is out. Cochran seems to have survived without too much damage.
Oh my gosh, I cannot believe that Jacob Cochran held on to that car. That was dicey to say the least, and I think that maybe, we're going to go back and look at it right here, but I think that maybe Bradley Knopfsnyder just had a slight misjudgment here on the front stretch right here. He was trying to get out of everybody's way, got a little bit loose right here and down into Jacob Cochran, and look at the job that Jacob did to hold on to that car.
He didn't even lose any positions. He just kept rolling it in third like nothing ever happened.
He didn't, and I think that our race controller threw the caution flag, like me, thinking that this was about to be a huge incident, but they all kept it straight right here. We're going to go back again right here. We'll see if we can ride on board with the 84 Jacob Cochran right here. And look at these hands right here. He uses the apron. He just didn't panic right there. That was the biggest thing that I took away from that onboard view right there, is he just did not panic, kept it straight, and man, he's going to live to fight another day.
Man, he never saw that coming. He was probably thinking about Swedish fish like I was, and then half a second later, his life's flashing before his eyes because he's got a lap car in the wall in front of him.
Absolutely. Hey, we're going to take a moment right here before we go back to green. Looks like we don't have the one to go. We're going to maybe see if we can take this opportunity. I don't think that we have many drivers on pit road, so we're going to take the opportunity to listen in and check out some of our partners here at Slingshot Racing Media. We'll be back on the other end of this break.
Hey partner, I'm Barry, your pocket crew chief, the very first AI-powered mechanic for sim racing. Got a car that's a little loose or tight? Just tell me how it's handling, and I'll whip up instant setup recommendations just for you. Want me to get even more precise? Snap a picture of your setup, and I'll fine-tune it to perfection. And hey, I'm not just about giving orders. I'll explain why every adjustment matters, so you can really understand your ride. I'll even teach you the science behind the setup. Ever wonder why the track bar is so important? I've got the answer. With Pocket Crew Chief, I'll make you smarter, faster, and race ready. So what are we waiting for? Let's build to win.
All right, back here at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway, Phil just received the one to go and made the choose here on the front stretch. It's like Chris Mefford gonna take the inside lane, Evan Janik taking the top lane right here. What we've seen so far, Sky, don't think it's a bad decision lining up on the top, especially with that run that we've seen these drivers be able to get off of turn 2.
Yeah, and this is going to be a sprint to the end here. It's only going to be 4 laps until the end of the stage once we go back green. So these drivers got to get on it immediately. You can get the good run on the top there, get a good launch out of the corner, and hopefully, if you're on that high line, it'll carry you clear to the front.
Yeah, absolutely, as Phil is working their way through turns 3 and 4 right here. These drivers right here, top 5 receive stage points, so we've been keeping our eyes right there about that 5th, 6th place to see how wild and crazy things get. Of course, everybody's going to want to get the track position, the best possible track position that they can receive. Pace car is going to make that hard left turn onto pit road, leaving the field in the hands right here of Chris Mefford and Evan Janik. Barney's got that green flag in hand, and we're back under green here at Las Vegas. Great jump on the inside right there from Mefford. He's going to clear Janik. Looks like Derek Jewett also going to clear Evan Janik and move into that 2nd spot.
They're racing side by side for third, though, a little back there. Janik side by side with Berardi for the spot, and they're all over the track. A little further back, cars going on the top, cars going in the middle, cars right down on the white line. We're using every inch of this track we can. Look at that 83 trying to split the difference, 3 wide in the middle.
Oh my gosh, look at him, yeah, stick it in there and just hope that he's got enough room, and he does, because these drivers do an amazing job. And he's going to clear them, and he's going to move clearly. That is Brandon Mefford up to the 4th spot. Oh, as a bunch of drivers tag the wall right there off of turn 2. Back behind them, Caleb Hunt trying to move himself into position right here. And as we get down here to the end of this stage, let's check in with one of our regulars here in Mystic Racing League. That's going to be Brett Wren in the 16th spot. Sky, we got a heart rate monitor on him, and man, he's pretty calm, cool, and collected at 97 beats per minute right here with just 2 laps to go at the end of stage 1.
Oh yeah, he's doing fine right now. I think wait till we get to about lap 115 or so, then we might start seeing that thing spiking above 115.
I say that's definitely a good bet, especially if he finds himself in the midst of a highly contested battle right here. As man, there are all kinds of battles on this racetrack. As the field comes by the start-finish line right here, working lap 30 right here, and I believe that we will wait till the top 5 crosses the line right here. And here is the battle for the stage win. Derek Jewett putting all kinds of pressure on the back bumper of Chris Mefford.
Yeah, if he wants the stage win, he needs to get it done now, and he's certainly trying to do it. There was a little bit of contact out of 2, but they keep him straight. Mefford keeps the lead. And coming out of 4 right here, Jewett doesn't have enough. It's going to be Chris Mefford winning the stage on lap 30.
Mefford gets the win right here in stage 1. Derek Jewett second, Evan Janik third, Brandon Medford fourth, and Brandon Berardi going to round out the top 5 and get the stage points here for stage number 1. Given the fuel situation here, Sky, I'd say it's a safe bet that all drivers will come to pit road here and possibly fill their tanks up. But we did have, just to set the stage right here, we did have a few drivers decide to make their pit stops on that previous caution. So we could wind up having a little bit different field here once we get back going green here. We could have a little bit different running order as far as our drivers that we've seen up here at the front of this field all night.
Yeah, there were pit stops there for Reggie Keem, Alex Pollock, Christian Barnes as well. Definitely going to be interested in seeing what gets done up here at the front with 4 sets of tires available for these drivers, and the fall off that the tires experienced at least like a second over the first run. I think everybody's probably going to come down for fuel, 4 tires, but those drivers who stayed out last time might be a wild card, and we'll see if anyone decides to roll the dice in Vegas and take 2.
We are in Vegas, so yes, that is definitely something that could be in the cards tonight. It's Chris Medford going to lead the field down pit road right here. He's got that 46 machine. About 45 miles per hour right here. We'll pull up the battle box as we look at all the drivers on pit road, watching their time. So far, I think I see all of our drivers, maybe with the exception of Jacob Cochran, who looks like he stayed out. But we saw him have that moment with Bradley Knopsnyder in that great save in turns 1 and 2 earlier. All these drivers come to the attention of their pit crews right here. Sky, are you a driver that always like to get 4 tires?
I think it depends on the car, but in the Xfinity machine, I like to take 4 tires. If you've ever driven the NASCAR Legends, the 87, I think you can get away with 2 a lot of times in there, and it'll usually get you some spots. Here in the Xfinity, I prefer 4, and I think most of the field has taken 4, but a couple drivers like Aaron Esp decided to switch it up.
Yeah, look at Aaron right here. Possibly with a maybe a 2-tire stop right here. Yeah, he was only in the box, it looks like, for 9 seconds. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if what that car is going to do here on the restart. It looks like Joshua Gillen, I was showing him coming down pit road, but I wonder if maybe he missed his pit stall right here in that Icebreakers machine and possibly didn't do it. That's a sea of pit road signs down there, and sometimes it is it's a little bit chaotic, and you might possibly miss your pit stall, and yeah, I think he's going to come back down pit road right here and receive some service.
Yeah, he didn't stop that last time around. There were a couple cars who took 2. Obviously, Aaron Esp was getting to the front. David Moyer, he was going to rotate up to 7th in this. He also only took 2 tires. Those were really the only 2 drivers towards the front who made that move, and then obviously Jacob Cochran staying out on the racetrack on 9-lap-old tires to take the lead.
Yeah, let's see what kind of difference that makes here. It looks like that we did not receive the 1 to go that time. Let's look to see what kind of difference that makes right here on this restart. If Jacob Cochran is going to drop anchor, or if you probably assume that he is possibly going to lose some spots, but maybe he's thinking that he won't lose enough to justify this strategy right here. I'd be really curious to watch Aaron Esp right here on this restart to see if, in my experience, Sky, with taking 2 tires on the Xfinity car, and David Moyer here in the 47 in the 7th spot, when you take 2 tires in this car, it seems like it really loosens it up, makes it a little bit of a handful.
And that can be a problem here, especially on that inside line, because we've seen drivers get loose over those bumps and really have to wheel it. Might be exaggerated a little bit if you take those 2 tires, and that might limit Aaron Esp's options a bit here going around this racetrack.
Field coming onto the front stretch right here, and what you'll see drivers, there are league rules as far as making the choose. You have to clearly define which position you're going to take, and it is clear right here that Aaron Esp is going to take that top lane. He's going to choose the top right here. Jacob Cochran going to choose the bottom, and I think that Jacob is betting on the fact that he is going to have such a strong launch in that Geico restart zone that he will clear the field clearly into turn 1 and be able to pick whatever line he wants to entering turns 1 and 2.
Well, he's definitely going to need to clear the field here because the fall off is a little bit much here. I'm just going to look at Chris Mefford's laps over the last 10, or over the first 10 or so laps of that last stint. On lap 2, he ran a 36.57. By the time his tires were about 9 laps old, he'd already fallen off about 3.5 tenths. So I think Jacob Cochran is going to need a really good launch because even just the few green flag laps he had on those tires could make a difference.
Certainly could, and something that these drivers are probably very aware of, as sometimes they can be like sharks smelling blood in the water right here when they look at a couple of drivers who they might view as a little bit vulnerable grip-wise here starting on the front row. Pace car going to make that turn here onto pit road. Jacob Cochran going to have the field in his hands right here in that Geico restart zone. He can hit the gas whenever he wants to in that zone, and he does. And we are back underway, and he has got that clean launch and is clear of the field, so he can choose whatever lane he wants to now entering turn 1.
He is going to want to hold off but that 46 Mefford is already starting to close the gap. He's side by side with the 71 of Janik right behind. Mefford is really going for it on that top line, and we'll see if he can get the run out of the corner on these newer tires. Side by side with Janik on the bottom.
Janik right here trying to fight tough right here on the bottom. Going to have to go through that minefield of bumps. Actually, he's going to go up a little bit higher, but you still see that 71 bounce. You still just can't quite get around them. I mean, they're all up the track right here. Oh, as Cochran is in the wall right there off of turn 2. We're going to be 3 wide for the lead entering turn 3.
And Evan Janik is going to be the one who comes away with it. Mefford had to back out going down there into the corner, and he's loose out of the corner, nearly contact. Jewett had the checkup to avoid, and now it's going to be Brandon Mefford side by side with Chris Mefford for the 3rd spot. Brandon's going to get it through on the bottom.
The Mefford boys right here battling for that 3rd spot. Put Brandon ahead of Chris right here. I gotta tell you, Sky, my brother's name is Brandon and my name is Chris, so I'm feeling a little bit of a connection right here with these guys. If they are brothers, you know, we're not sure if they are, but and they're definitely representing right here in the top 5 tonight.
Got a similar cars there too as well. This strategy not working out for Aaron Espen, the 12 on those 2 tires. He's already gone back to P12, free falling through the field. A little further up, there's the battle with the 45. Yeah, we can see S back there with Moyer. Those 2 cars have fallen to 12th and 13th. They are not having a good time, and now here comes Douglas Wysocki. Try and get around both of them back here. He'll get Moyer, now he'll look at S.
Yeah, that's Douglas Wysocki right there in that number 11. That's a new name that we haven't seen so far this season, so happy to have him out here as a lot of new names out on the track here tonight. Chris Mefford right here under attack, looks like from Brandon Berardi. Berardi going to peek to the inside. A lot of speed out of that 05 tonight, being consistently in the top 5 as we got a battle for the lead. Here comes Jacob Cochran back to the inside of Evan Janik.
He's on older tires, but he's clearly got the speed because he's managed to pass back the 81 car. Coming up on some lap traffic here in front of him. I believe that is Gavin Hinson in 39. He'll look to clear that car quickly and get the spot.
Yeah, Hinson's going to stay to the inside right here. Going to stay out of these leaders' way right here. Slides up just a little bit right there through entering turn 3. Yeah, I wonder if Jacob Cochran, Sky, maybe took it a little bit easy on his tires there. There's only a few laps to go in the stage when we went back green, so he might have just put around the back of the field, just trying to take it real easy, you know, sort of formulating this game plan right here where he would stay out and maybe try to grab the lead right here. It's definitely worked in his favor as several cars tagged the wall off of turn 2.
Yeah, with the damage he had from that contact with the lap car, he had to make the move down pit road. So if he just wanted to get that damage fixed, and if he was going to go to the back anyway, might as well take 4. I think it definitely would have been smart for him to ride around to the back and just wait it out until the caution came out from the stage, because he has jumped out to a really good run. And oh, we're trying to go 3 wide back here for second. It's a big dive for Mefford up the inside of the other Mefford and Jewett. People causing the wall further back, but right now it is Chris Mefford ahead of Brandon Mefford.
A little bit of a difficult last few laps right here for Evan Janik, last week's winner at Martinsville. He has slid back to the 7th spot. Not sure if there is a little bit of damage possibly on that 71, but he has slid back here in the last few laps, and I do believe he did take 4 tires that time, Sky. So a little bit of trouble right here for the 71.
Yeah, definitely free falling through the field. It's not what he wants. I'm not sure if there's any damage on that car. If there is, I'm not seeing it on the outside of that 71 machine. Some kind of problem there has sent him back through the field. I'm not entirely sure what it is, but he has lost seconds over the last couple laps.
You know, Sky, it could also be, as we got a battle for the lead right here, the 46 and the 84. That's the 46 of Mefford. Chris Mefford, that is. Going to take the top spot back from Jacob Cochran, so move the 46 to P1 right here. You know, I believe there could also be a situation where Evan Janik, because we don't have an exact fuel number tonight, Evan Janik might be doing a little bit of fuel conservation to guarantee he makes it to the end of this stage without pitting.
He might be, although I'm not sure what the pit or what the fuel length fully is. We might see pit stops out of everyone. We might see pit stops out of no one. Really going to depend on how these cars shake out. We were very specific with the fuel load here. 58% in these cars tonight. So that might last them 40 laps. That might not. We're going to find out.
Yes, Guy, I think that very specific percentage of 58, I think that was done. I don't want to assume, because I don't like to make assumptions, but I'm going to say that possibly is to create a little bit of drama tonight, which, hey, we don't mind at all.
I'm always for some drama up here in the booth. We've got drama right now with Cochran sliding back through the field. He's now under threat from the 05 of Berardi taking that spot on the inside for 4th.
Yeah, move Berardi up to that 4th spot, as you said, Sky. He's been very, very smooth and consistent all night right here. Jacob Cochran sliding back a little bit here on those slightly used tires right here, but he's not free falling through the field, and I think that maybe, you know, once this all shakes out right here, as long as he doesn't start, you know, to free fall very quickly, I think he might consider this, you know, a pretty sound strategic move right here. As well, it looks like we got Mefford right here. That's Brandon Mefford working around the lap machine of Brett Rim. Oh, it looks like Rim's going to tag the wall in that prime machine.
Man, it's not the first time we've seen a lap car racing for 3rd tag the wall on the end of the start-finish straight. A little bit of a flashback there. 24 will drop it down to the inside, let these cars go around him on the top. I don't think he's really going to fight anyone too hard after that wall hit. He just wants to let them all go through.
Yeah, absolutely. And while these lead lap cars do work their way past Brett, let's give a quick shout out right here to this number 13 machine, Aiden Tebow, another new face. He's been real quiet all night right here, but here he finds himself solidly in the top 10 in that 7th spot as he's going to work around the outside of that lap machine of Brett Wren, trying to close up on the rear bumper of Caleb Hunt in the 78.
Making good time up through the field here. There's a couple cars who we've seen really gain spots, and Aiden Tebow is one of them, up from 18th to 7th this race. A couple others further up at the front. Brandon Mefford's gone from 10 to 2. Derek Jewett from 14 to 3. And you mentioned Brandon Willard as a potential hard charger right at the start of the night. He's gone from 24 to 12.
Yeah, how about Brendan Willard right here? Yeah, let's give a call to him as well. We saw him at COTA. I think he hit everything but the jackpot right there. He had a lot of bad luck at COTA. But he persevered, and tonight he finds himself, like you said, Sky, moving up through this field.
Got a lot of speed in that 12 car. He stayed out of trouble. been consistent, been clean, and sometimes that's all you need to move your way up through the field. Still struggling on pit strategy is Aaron S., who's gone back to 15th, but even further back from that is Evan Janik, who has fallen to 17th, 16 seconds behind the leader. He must have hit the wall or something coming out of the corner, and it must have just broken his car because he has had absolutely nothing in a while.
Yeah, riding on board right here with Evan Janik. And I believe that we can, I'm not sure about this, but it sounds like he might be clutching that machine right there through turns 3 and 4. I'm going to listen right here down the front stretch. You can hear that engine at full song. Then entering turn 1. Yep, he engaged that clutch, so Evan might be, he might be trying to pull a little bit of strategy here. Maybe guaranteeing himself to getting to the end of this stage.
Well, yeah, if everybody else pits, this would be really good for him by the end of things, because he would probably be the primary car in the lead lap there. Of course, that's only if he's the only car that makes this strategy work. We don't know what's going to happen. There's a couple other cars at the back who are running pretty far off the pace, but I'm not sure if they're on the same strategy as the 71. It's going to be really interesting to see how this plays out, although you'd think if you were fuel saving, you'd be running the bottom and not the top like the 71 is.
Yeah, that could be a that could just be a, you know, where maybe he feels comfortable. But yeah, you would go that shorter distance. But yeah, we're gonna have to watch this. This is he's gonna look like a genius if everybody else has to pit here. I mean, it is a little bit further distance to go to the end of stage 2. You know, we did have those caution laps. So you know, if everything stays green, as long as he stays on the lead lap here, because you don't want to run the risk of, you know, possibly a caution coming out and getting trapped a lap down, he might be looking like a genius here.
That's what we're going to find out. It's about 14 left to go in the stage. Lap 56 out of 70 laps is going to be the stage tonight. This is the battle with Cochran, who has fallen a little bit back to the field, but he seems to have stabilized back here in 6th. He was racing with that 13 car, Aiden Tebow, continuing to work his way through the field up to 5th tonight from 18th. Pretty good run for him, sitting just inside the top 5, but Cochran, if he's going to try to get a couple more spots, Tebow is first on his list.
Oh, as we see a little bit of a connection flash right there out of Aiden Tebow. It looks like he's back here on the track, and Jacob Cochran trying to get that left front. He was just trying to sneak that left front out into the wind right here. See him doing it down here in 3 and 4. Is that just to get a little bit of clean air possibly on that left front headlight there, Sky?
Well, yeah, clean air can really help in these cars. Not only can it loosen the car up, but you're not having to drive it as hard as you are in the dirty air. It can get you a little extra time. It can save you tire wear. It can get you freed up. It can do everything for your car. So definitely an advantage to getting it down there.
Absolutely. As we a battle right here going on for the 11th spot right here is almost some contact right there between Robert McKay and Brandon Willard. Talked about Brandon Willard, our hard chart. Oh, as I think there was contact right there. Front bumper of the 12 into the rear bumper of the 88. Robert McKay does a heck of a job to hold on to that Chevy. But Brandon Willard going to power around here on the outside and move up into the 11th spot.
Great battle going on there. A couple battles through the field, but this is probably the closest one at this moment in time as these cars continue to go at it. Evan Janik hit the wall pretty hard about a lap ago. That's definitely not going to help him. And back up front, 46 is going to come into the pits. That was our race leader, Chris Mefford.
And I think this kind of answers our question, Sky, about what Evan Janik's ideas are, what his strategy possibly is. It's like we got Caleb Hunt on pit road. I think Douglas Wysocki as well coming down pit road. So all these drivers right here trying to maybe see if they can gain a little bit of time on their competitors. Or are they possibly going to take fuel only? These might be, yeah, these are fuel only stops here, Sky.
Yeah, you don't want to waste that extra time to get the tires on, maybe especially if you can just do it at the end of the stage. You want to get enough gas to get you to the last 9 laps here, and then you'll be good. So the advantage here is going to be pitting as late as possible, because then you get less, or then you have to take less fuel, and that gets you out of the pits with a shorter stop.
Absolutely, as we see these drivers right here. And at this stage right here, Sky, with coming to pit road and just filling this thing up with fuel, it's probably about 0 mistakes. You probably just don't want to make a mistake out here and put yourself in a possible position to, like have a speeding penalty and take yourself out of the race. When you don't even you really can't win it here, but you can certainly lose it as these drivers make their green flag pit stops.
No, the absolute worst thing you can do here is get yourself a pit road speeding penalty or an unsafe entry or exit penalty, because those will completely ruin your race in an instant. You want to make sure not to get them. And speaking of getting them, black flag, Derek Jewett in the 45.
And we were talking about Derek having a nice recovery tonight after all of his misfortune here in the last couple weeks. He had the speed tonight, too. Man, that is such a shame right there for that 45 machine.
Yeah, this is his second run down pit road. He's going to have to do a bit of a hold. Doesn't look like he was speeding on entry, so maybe a potential speeding violation on exit there for the 45 car. Not at all what he wants.
Not at all right here, as we see Aiden Tebow right here in that 13 car to his outside. We got one of the Medfords working to his outside, trying to get his lap back, and he's going to make his way onto pit road right here. Aiden Tebow is making that early cut down, as we do see another connection flash out of that 13 machine, but he's coming to the service of his pit crew, and that's going to leave the field in the hands of Adam Holston, our new leader.
Top 9 cars all still out on the racetrack. That will be reduced to 8 when Tebow makes that turn down pit road. Holston, McKay, and a bunch of cars are going to follow Tebow. So right now it's just looking like it's Holston and McKay out there, along with, of course, Evan Janik still running that strategy.
And we see Holston making his way onto pit road. Yeah, I think Evan Janik is going to be the driver right here that... but I think the big problem for Janik right here is that, unfortunately, I think that Brandon Medford is going to pass him, Sky. Here comes Medford in the 83.
Yeah, these cars up here are going to just get around Janik, and it's because of how slow he's had to go. He's been driving at like 2 or 3 seconds off the pace for most of this run, and that's going to catch up to him, because even after a pit stop, both Medford cars are going to be able to get right back around him here and try to get top 2. He could still finish in 3rd or 4th in this stage, but he's certainly not going to win it.
Yeah, and I think that when Evan maybe looks back at the end of this, he's going to have to weigh maybe like if he would have had a higher position at the end of the stage. I definitely like the call. I like the aggressiveness as far as, trying to make it happen. And it's always really hard to, sort of figure that out and calculate that out in your head, like on the go right here. And I think he's probably going to be really close to, maybe where he was. He was around the 3rd or 4th spots, and here comes the 05 right there. That is, I think that the 05 Brandon Berardi might have had a little bit of an issue right there on pit road, because it seems like he has lost a lot of time as well.
He took 4 tires. There were a couple cars in the field that came down for tires there. Just looking off the top of my head here, Aiden Tebow came down for 4, Malcolm Capo, Aaron S., Robert McKay, along with Brandon Berardi, and I think Joshua Gillen as well. All drivers who came down and took 4 tires there. So multiple different strategies being played. I think some drivers might even taken 2. A lot of stuff going on pit road there.
Definitely a lot of stuff going on. And it's going to be a struggle to keep it all straight, but we're going to do our best, folks, right here as Brandon Medford makes his way off of turn 4. Just a couple laps ago here in Stage 2. Lap 70 will mark the Stage 2 break tonight. You see Medford right here working that high lane right here. He still has, he's only taken 1 set of tires tonight, so he has a set in the pits that he will probably bolt on right here. And Brandon Berardi, this is the right here in Berardi. You can see the difference in those new tires that you mentioned, Sky. He's just going to He's just going to roll the bottom underneath Medford.
Yeah, those new tires are really going to help him out. We're coming to the end of the stage here, and Janik is going to drop back outside the top 5, outside the top 6. Wysocki's going to get him for 7th. Looks like he'll finish the stage about 8th or 9th here, and that is not at all what he wanted, because I think if he just kept going, like at the pace he was, he probably could have gotten the top 3.
Yeah.
Janik definitely had the speed. He was one of the faster cars in the field, and just didn't look like that strategy ended up working out for him. Maybe a little too smart for his own good.
Yeah, it definitely looks like it's going to be a net loss for Evan Janik. Hopefully he is able to make it on fuel right here as the Medford boys 1-2. Brandon Medford going to win stage 2 right here. Chris Medford in 2nd. Looks like Adam Holson will come across the line in 3rd. Jacob Cochran in 4th, and Aiden Tebow going to round out the top 5 right here. Those top 5 drivers receiving those all-important stage points. All of those points matter as we roll this season on and look towards the playoffs here. A lot of point shuffling possibly tonight with a lot of new players in the field tonight, and possibly taking some points away from some of our regulars that we've seen here all season. And the Medfords, man, both Brandon and Chris, they have been very, very impressive all race long right here as this field is going to bunch back up behind the pace car right here. We'll see what everybody decides to do on pit road.
I think we're going to see some cars come down again, but I don't think we're going to see most of the field come down like we did on lap 30. Going to be a really interesting split decision here. Those cars who took 4 tires are going to be a little further back in the field, but they will have an advantage. The only car who we know is going to be pitting is Evan Janik, who's going to have to roll from the back, but it looks like some of the cars up front are going to come with him.
Yeah, it looks like they will right here. Both of the Medfords, Brandon and Chris, make their way down. Adam Holson going to come down pit road as well. All these drivers coming to the service of their pit crews right here. Looking to see if maybe they can get some positions the easy way here on pit road. Maybe gain some track position from their pit entry, pit exits, even though they are under caution right here. And the time of their pit crew right here. Looks like a lot of these drivers taking 4 tires, seeing the left sides jack up on these machines right here. The 83 looks like he's rolling. There's the 13 of Tebow. Looks like maybe that was some short service right there on that 13 machine.
Well, we're going to see, looking at the pit stops here, we know Tebow was one of the cars who took 4 on that last stop. He didn't take 4 again. He just came down for fuel only. Next cars out are Brandon Medford and Chris Medford, who took 4. Malcolm Capo, I think, was another car who went for 4 tires on the green flag pit stop, who's gone fuel only here. Only car staying out, Robert McKay, who we know took 4 with 7 laps to go, and he's going to try to roll it to the next pit stop.
Definitely going to have to see how all this plays out right here in the final stage here from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. We're going to take a moment to hear from some of our partners here at Slingshot Racing Media. Don't you go anywhere, though. We're going to bring you all the action to the checkered flag when we come back right after this break. Don't go anywhere, folks.
Hey partner, I'm Barry, your pocket crew chief, the very first AI-powered mechanic for sim racing. Got a car that's a little loose or tight? Just tell me how it's handling, and I'll whip up instant setup recommendations just for you. Want me to get even more precise? Snap a picture of your setup, and I'll fine-tune it to perfection. And hey, I'm not just about giving orders. I'll explain why every adjustment matters, so you can really understand your ride. I'll even teach you the science behind the setup. Ever wondered why the track bar is so important? I've got the answer. With Pocket Crew Chief, I'll make you smarter, faster, and race ready. So what are we waiting for? Let's build to win.
Back with you live here at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Field working its way through turns 1 and 2. These drivers are on the 1 to go, and they have gone ahead and made the choose right here. Robert McKay is looking like he's going to be the race leader, and I believe, Sky, if I'm not mistaken, we see the field right here. We got the missing man formation right here because Aiden Tebow, I believe he has blinked out, if I'm not mistaken.
We've seen him have internet issues all race. That is not ideal for that 13 car.
Oh, there he is.
Stopped up here on the apron. Not sure what's going on there. Oh, he almost comes up into the 83. We're going to get rolling here. Not sure any of what was happening right there.
I believe that maybe some drivers were taking the wave around, and maybe Aiden went with them, trying to put a lap on the field right there. But they've gotten it straightened out right here as the pace car makes its way onto pit road. Field in the hands of Robert McKay and Aiden Tebow. Green flag is out. McKay, we got in trouble.
Ooh,
we do have a crash
already. We're wrecking already. Yeah, that was like 4 or 5 cars involved in that. Oh my goodness.
Joshua Gillen, looks like Jacob Cochran. Few drivers involved right there. That took place about midway through the field. Don't know if it had anything to do with the issues that was going on up there at the front of the field, but we'll try to go back, see if we can see what transpired between these drivers right here. Focus on Joshua Gillen. I don't think that he's the initial one involved. It looks like it's actually up ahead of him right here. We'll see if we can focus in on Jacob Cochran here, because we know he was involved. I saw that Swedish fish machine around. Oh, yeah, it looks like a jam up maybe on the inside here, Sky.
Oh, yeah, just a log jam where a lot of cars, I guess someone up there didn't get going. We're still kind of coming around here. I'm not entirely sure what happened. Someone didn't go. Looks like that was the 11 car. Just didn't get rolling. Checked up everyone behind him. 39 have Hinson. Absolutely got the worst of that. He's down into a couple cars, and we're still wrecking further behind him.
Yeah, the 77 of Zach White involved. Yeah, the 11 right there of Douglas Wasaki, he was the car that had the biggest gap between it and the rest of the field. Going to go back and see if we can ride on board maybe with, I think that we'll ride on board possibly with Gavin Henson so that you can see, because I know he had a big impact here. Here we are looking over the right shoulder of Henson in that 39 car. Right behind Derek Jewett. Oh, yeah, and I think that he shoved Jewett into, not on purpose or anything, but into Cochran, and everybody just stacked up from there, unfortunately. These are some of the most frustrating crashes to get involved in, Sky.
Absolutely. How about Zach White there? That car caught some major air. That thing got pretty airborne, like the rear tires were fully off the ground. A lot of big hits in that accident.
Yeah, here is Zach White right there in that Folds of Honor Ford. Yeah, that was Evan Janik that ran into the back of him there, Sky. Janik, who, oh my gosh, now this is a night right here for Janik that has gone from maybe bad to worse at this point, and a lot of damage to that 71 Chevrolet.
And it's just knock-on effects from that bad pit strategy call. I don't think he would have been back there if he pit with everybody else, played the same strategy, but he got off strategy, it didn't work, he ended up at the back, and now he's in an accident.
Yeah, we see right here. Yeah, just everything just happens so quickly. You just cannot avoid the calamity here on the front stretch, and it's easy to say, why don't they just slam the brakes? Well, these drivers are coming up through the gears, and, when one driver swerves out from behind another one, you just don't have any time to react at all. And an unfortunate turn of events right here for Evan Janik in that 71.
Definitely for him. That's going to really set him back. That is a lot of damage on the front end of that 71 car, and I can't imagine he's going to be too happy with that. Looks like he did take a fast repair, so he's going to be back out there clean, but in 16th place, he's going to have a lot of work to do.
Absolutely, as the field is going to double up again right here for a restart. Got Ellis Thomas, Connor Lodge, Joshua Gillen. Joshua Gillen in the chat, Sky, you know, if you stick around with us often, you're just going to know that Joshua Gillen's going to tune into the chat and be out on the track at the same time. Appreciate everybody tuning in tonight and chiming in the chat. Hey, if you're watching, let us know who your favorite driver is and who you're pulling for out here on the track. We'll see if we can shine a light on them and their progress here tonight. Pace car is going to make its way down pit road as we'll be coming up here on a restart right here. Gonna have to keep the fuel game in mind right here in these final closing laps right here as the field is in the hands of Robert McKay and Aiden Tebow. In the restart zone right here, McKay is gonna hit that gas and get a great launch.
Flying off into the lead on that outside so far. He's gonna take Mefford with him in that 21. So right now, Robert McKay, Brandon Mefford on the point. Tebow working on the top, but he's losing spots to Chris Mefford, who's going to pull in for third on the bottom. And it's a mad dash in the midfield.
Brandon Mefford putting a lot of pressure right here on Robert McKay. Almost some contact right there through turns 3 and 4. He's all over the rear bumper of Robert McKay. All the way down to the flat right here. I can't even cut the cameras quick enough to see him. He's moving so fast. Has put Brandon Mefford back up to the lead as McKay gets loose. Mefford in the wall hard. A lot of damage to those machines. Here they come back in front of the field.
Couple other cars getting tagged. Janik around again. The 10 car. We're still spinning down the straightaway. And Evan Janik has just taken his second big hit. The 68 is around back there. The 10 of Joshua Gillen. Oh my goodness.
Just worst case scenario for some of these drivers here, Sky, as the leaders were the ones who got caught up in it and the track just kind of funneled down out of turn 2 and everybody's caught up. I shouldn't say everybody, but a lot of drivers are caught up in it right here. We're gonna have to go back and see if we can re-rack this and man, see McKay right there tracking that thing sideways in turns 3 and 4 right here. Here is what transpired. We're going to see if we can see maybe a little bit of an overhead perspective right here. I think the 88, I think he's in that transition right there, Sky, between the progressive banking right here, and that thing just gets out from underneath him.
He just got loose and hooked the 83, and it was just a huge hit to the wall for Brandon Mefford. That car comes down across the racetrack. It clips the 11 down there. Couple cars, you see Janik involved. You see a big hit for Gillen as well. A lot of these cars are drivers who were just caught up in that last accident, and now they're putting even more damage on the car because they're caught up in this one as well.
Yeah, just rotten luck for some of these guys right here. We're going to go back right here and see if we can maybe catch this maybe from another view. Here we are. We've got both of these guys right here side by side working their way through turns 1 and 2, and we see the 88 of McKay. So McKay gets sideways and hook that 83 head on into the wall. Brandon Mefford must be thinking, what in the world is going on here? He's going to come back down the track, tag the number 11 right there of Douglas Wysocki. We see Evan Janik spinning. Joshua Gillen nowhere to go. Knocks that 88 car of McKay up into the air. Christian Barnes doing a heck of a job, just taking it easy. Barnes got some damage to that car already, but going to get through this one unscathed.
Alex Pollock, the other driver, took a big hit there. He hit the spinning 11 car of Wysocki pretty hard. He was another driver who was just involved in that last one, and now he's got more damage on that car.
We're going to ride on board right here with Alex Pollock. Alex has been running our heart rate monitor here in recent weeks. He doesn't have it here tonight, but I bet if he did, we would see that thing skyrocket right about now. As you can see, just he made the right decision to cut back up, but unfortunately he wasn't counting on the 11 to get right reared back up into his path right there. So just an unfortunate turn of events right there for Alex Pollock and many other drivers who were innocent bystanders in this crash.
Yeah, I think we're definitely going to lose a couple cars from the field here. Oh, yep, there goes Alex Pollock. He's going to run it into the fence for good measure at the end. This is going to be interesting because I think this might actually open the window on pit strategy. And we did see basically everyone come down on that caution. Caleb Hunt, Brandon Willard, Reggie Keem stay out. Every other car in the field took fuel.
Look at that 9 machine there, Sky. Is that a that was like it's a Mac Tonight throwback to the Bill Elliott days. So yeah, that's very interesting. I've always liked that paint scheme. So great job by Reggie bringing that one out here tonight.
For sure, he's gonna need some luck here because he is on about 10 lap old tires, but he doesn't have enough fuel. He's gonna really have to save to make it to the end. Same with these other cars up front. It's a whole bunch of strategies. Some cars are on new tires, some cars are fuel only, some didn't pit. We got everything going on in the field.
A lot of different strategies and a lot of different game plans here. So there's going to be a lot of variation in speed right here as the pace car is going to peel off right here. Caleb Hunt's going to lead the field down now. He's going to accelerate through the restart zone and clear the rest of the field. Put Hunt here to the lead right here, side by side for the second spot. Back behind him, looks like Reggie Keim right there in that number 9 on the inside, trying to work underneath of Brandon Willard. It's like Willard lost a little bit of ground right there, got a little bit tight coming off turn 2, gonna lose some spots.
We're 3 wide down into this corner. Tebow and Michael Wade, a name we haven't mentioned all race, moving up to the field. Both cars pit. I think Michael Wade might have taken tires there if he had any, because he was in the box for 14.1. It's consistent with a 4-tire stop. Tebow was in for fuel only. We'll see if this helps the 3 car move up through the field.
Yeah, look at Michael Wade go through turns 1, 2. Got a little bit loose right there off of turn 2. That's going to enable Aiden Tebow to maybe drive back to the inside. Here's Chris Medford up here trying to take the second spot away from Jacob Cochran in the 84. And he almost had him cleared right there as we got another battle going on right here. Brandon Berardi has recovered, and he has made his way back up to the 8th spot, trying to take 7th away from Aiden Tebow.
Berardi's got some speed as well. Oh, 12's up the track a little further back. 16's loose on the top, but we're all going to keep it straight and clean.
Oh, we got
and
trouble.
Never mind, 46 is around into the inside wall. One car is going to make it away unscathed, but that 45 of Derek Jewett is stopped on the racetrack after a big hit.
I think race control is going to allow this thing to play out right here as Derek Jewett was to the inside. Oh, some contact right there between Aiden Tebow and Reggie Keim. They're going to keep it straight right here. As, man, these drivers right here, the pay window is open, Sky, and it's time to let it all hang out, and they are definitely doing that here at Las Vegas.
Everybody's going for it, but I think Caleb Hunt might have to pit. He is going to be going, if he makes it to the end of this stint, 45 laps. We haven't seen anyone go more than 40, and they only made it 40 because they coasted. I think Caleb Hunt, Jacob Cochran, the other cars who are still out on this fuel strategy, they're playing for another caution because I don't think they can make it to the end otherwise. If those cars have to pit under green, top 3 right now are Adam Holston, Chris Mefford, and Aiden Tebow.
Yeah, I think that you're right, Sky. I think that these drivers are going to have a hard time making it to the end of this race. In fact, we'll go ahead and take a look at these laps right here to show you where your favorite driver stands on their pit strategy. And you mentioned it, Sky. Caleb Hunt at 17 laps on this stint right here. Jacob Cochran at 12 laps on this stint. So, yeah, these drivers are going to have a hard time making it to the end of this race right here with the fuel they have remaining.
And one car who's really, really fast right now is Aaron Esp. He took 4 tires last time down, 15-second pit stop. He's wheeling that thing back to the front, running quicker lap times than anyone in front of him. Watch out for the 16 with 25 to go.
Yeah, Aaron Esp right here. He's had some speed all night tonight, but you know, with the varying different strategies going on, I don't think that he's been able to show it as much right here. Speaking of drivers who have speed that maybe haven't always shown it or maybe have had some bad luck, look back here to the 6th spot here, Sky. Evan Janik is up to that 6th spot miraculously after all of the trouble that he has experienced here in the last 25 laps. Here he is within contention right here of a top 5 finish.
He was in the pits for a full minute making repairs on that car. getting the nose damage beat out, and it looks like he's done a pretty good job because he's still competitive in that 71 car. I thought that thing was all but done. He's still running it up in 6th. He's quick, but pretty clearly the fastest car on track right now is Aaron Esp in the 16, running quicker than anybody else in that 4th spot. Gap to the leaders down to about half a second, or 1.5 seconds.
Yeah, definitely gaining on those leaders right here. We're going to pull up, actually, the race insights powered by Pierce Graphics to show you projected overtake and how he compares to maybe some of his closest competitors. And compared to that number 8 of Adam Holston just up ahead, Aaron Esp was about a 1/10 of a second this time. Yeah, about a 1/10 of a second this time, faster than Holston. So if he's able to maybe continue that pace right there, we might see that overtake lap projection. We might see that decrease here as maybe he continues to reel in that 8 at that same pace.
I think it will, especially because he is on fresher tires than that 8 car. And those top 2 cars, we both know, if there's not a caution, they're going to either need to back it down big time or they're going to need to come down pit road. So great spot right now for Aaron Epps. Looks like he might have been out of it, but he's come straight back to the front, getting over his bad tire call from the middle of this race, make a great tire call, and bring it up to the battle for the lead.
You just see that Karas guy just roll through the center of the corner with those pressure tires. The grip that he has in that number 16 machine. These drivers up ahead, they're going to have their hands full with him as he can just roll the center a lot better. But Adam Holston doing a nice job of not making this an easy pass for Aaron, as he's peeking to the insider here, just trying to show that nose and make that driver behind look. And here he is to the inside.
No, that 8 car was trying to make it a 4-car battle for the lead. He's still trying to make it because I think he's still a little faster than those top 2 cars, but he's not faster right now than Aaron Esp behind in the 16, who's closed that gap down to under half a second. He's got the spot, and now his sights are set on Caleb Hunt and Jacob Cochran, 1 and 2.
Jacob Cochran right here all over the rear bumper of Caleb Hunt. We feel pretty confident. I'm sorry, Sky. Old habits are hard to break. We feel pretty confident that that these 2 drivers right here, unless we get some timely cautions for them, that it's going to be difficult for them to make it to the end of this race on the fuel they have remaining. And Aaron Esp going to drive by them like they're standing still. Move Esp up to the 2nd spot as he's going to clear Cochran here off of turn 2 and set his sights here on Caleb Hunt.
He doesn't want to wait for a timely caution. He wants to make the move now. And here he goes. Aaron Esp up the inside of the 78 of Caleb Hunt. He's got the advantage out of 4, but the 78 will fight back on the top. Esp is going to cut down to the apron. He'll lead lap 98. And coming into turn 1 is looking like it's going to be Aaron Esp to the lead. Contact with the 78 moves them up the track. 16 clear P1.
They leaned on each other through turns 1 and 2, but that didn't stop. Oh, as Hunt tags the wall off of turn 2. That didn't stop the momentum of Aaron Esp, though, as he is going to clearly move past these guys right here and into that clean air, into the lead right here. And at this point right here, you have to imagine that Aaron is just hoping no cautions. Let this thing go great to the end.
He is in the best spot in the field if there's no cautions. Adam Holston still in the fight. He's up to 2nd. And we got another car on 4 fresh Goodyear tires here. That's Michael Wade running 5th. He's gotten that car back up to 5th. He was running in 9th a little bit earlier. Closing that gap down. It's about a second between him and Caleb Hunt right now. That's another car to watch. You look a little further back, a lot of these cars are on 4 tires. David Moyer as well as Joshua Gillen. Cars who came down for tires on that last pit stop, and they've all pulled it up to the top 8.
Yeah, let's give a shout out to Michael Wade right here in the number 3 machine, that Dale Earnhardt Jr. AC Delco throwback. He started in the 21st spot here tonight, Sky. And here he is. As we have a caution on the track.
And that is the last thing he wants to see. Malcolm Capo is stopped on the racetrack on the backstretch. I think he was a part of this. couple other cars that looked like were involved, but he's the one who is stopped.
The last thing that Aaron wanted to see was that call. Oh, as that's contact right there between the 71 and the 7. Looks like the 71 might have had a little bit of a run possibly on the 7. Trying to see if we can get a little bit better view of this right here. Right here he is to the left rear, peeking maybe to the right rear. Gets into that right rear, hooks him into the wall right here, and unfortunately Malcolm Capo going to go for a little bit of a ride right here through turns 1 and 2.
Yeah, and that looks like it was what brought out the caution there. That 7 car taking pretty big hits, and I think Race Control just threw it because they thought it was going to be maybe a little more than it was once he started to spin it around.
Yeah, that 05 right there, Brandon Berardi, we saw how close he came right there to making contact. Great evasive maneuver by the driver of the 05 right there as he was able to work his way to the inside of, or to the outside, excuse me, of that wounded machine. We're going to actually see if we can go back right here and ride on board with Brandon Berardi, show you the quick move that he had to make. Yeah, he's trying to figure out which way he was going to go, and then, yeah, he cuts to the right there, so nice job right there by Brandon to avoid trouble.
Pit stops in progress for everybody in the field. There are a couple cars who got 4 tires, and they are all going to take them here. A couple cars who don't have 4 tires, on the other hand, they might be in trouble. Race off pit road, it's Adam Holston, Aaron S., Caleb Hunt, Aiden Tebow, Jacob Cochran. The top 3 and 5th are all on 4 fresh tires. Aiden Tebow looks like he took 2.
Great job right there by Adam Holston on pit road. Great job by his pit crew as well to win him that race off of pit road. And that's going to set us up here, Scott. It looks like I'm just going back and looking at our drivers right here on tires here. It's like a little bit of a... Don't know if Tebow took 2 tires here, possibly. Brandon Berardi might have taken 2 as well. So, it's like a couple drivers taking 2, but everybody else taking 4 here. What might be the final stop of the race.
Yeah, they certainly didn't take 4, and I think they were likely good on fuel, especially with this caution. So that's likely a 2-tire call for those drivers to try to move themselves a little bit further up the field here. It didn't work for Aaron S. in the first stint, but 13 laps to go. You got to try to do something. Why not roll the dice?
Yeah, absolutely. Is the last thing that Adam Holston probably wants to see in his rearview mirror right here is he has grabbed the lead here after that round of pit stops. It's a blinking number 13, Aiden Tebow. We've seen Aiden have a little bit of connection issue all night tonight. That makes those drivers around you a little bit nervous where you're possibly going to reappear, especially if you're gone for a long time. But luckily, we haven't seen any extended disappearances from that number 13 Toyota tonight.
No, he's blinked out a little, but not enough to trigger that new iRacing disconnection black flag. That's new at this update. Haven't seen it applied to that 13 yet, but I think he's probably pushed it a couple times. For now, though, as we roll through turn 3 and 4 and get ready to go, that car looks pretty stable.
It does. As these drivers right here are going to tighten those belts right here as they make their way through turns 3 and 4. Getting ready for what might be, could be, but who knows, the final restart of this race right here. Field in the hands of Adam Holston right here in that number 8. He's going to accelerate through the restart zone. Green flag back in the air. He gets a great jump, a great launch. Going to separate himself from the rest of the field side by side here for the second spot between Tebow and Esp.
That'll really open up a gap for him as Tebow continues to roll for second, but he's not on 4 fresh tires like some of these other guys are, and his internet issues are coming back to haunt him. So it's Jacob Cochran in the 84 getting that move up to the inside.
Oh.
And Tebow around in front of the field. Big one. Oh my goodness.
Huge crash here on the front stretch. Tebow's going to get hit again right there by Zach White. And we've seen a couple of spins tonight, Sky. Big crashes where some of our leaders have found themselves loose on these restarts on these fresh tires.
He took 2. That's another driver that tried some pit strategy to get up to the front and maybe just ran it a little too hard, similar to how McKay did earlier, ended up sending it around on that top line.
Yeah, we see him right there. He was in trouble a little bit further back than that. He's trying to counter steer, and unfortunately, man, David Moyer was having a great night tonight. It's really, really quiet, marching his way through the field. Unfortunately, he took a lot of damage right there. We see right there him down pit road. We see Brandon Willard down pit road with a lot of damage. Zach White also with a ton of damage on his number 77. A lot of drivers right here just looking to get to the end right here, and unfortunately aren't going to see the checkered flag, or if they do, it will be with a lot of damage.
Yeah, and a lot of the cars in that crash had already taken their fast repair too. So those are drivers who used that chance at a free repair, and now they don't have it. They've got terminal damage. They're likely out of the race.
Absolutely right here as we're watching in real time. Oh, man, and also the number 3, Michael Wade as well. Wade was having a great run tonight. Before that, he was looking at a top 5 finish before the previous caution. And unfortunately, we can see the damage to that number 3 machine. I don't think that he's going to be seeing the checkered flag unless, he takes that fast repair.
A lot of cars very torn up. Like you said, Michael Wade, he already used that fast repair. He's likely done for the night. He could have gotten a podium if that last caution didn't come out. Now he's out of the race. A lot of these guys tonight, it's just what could have been.
Imagine right here, I'm going to go back so we can all see this right here. Imagine just being, I'm sure that David Moyer saw it, but he was hoping to sneak by. I'm going to do this in real time so you can see the violence of this impact right here. David Moyer hooked in the right rear and just ricochets off that wall head on. And you can see he went for one heck of a ride down the front stretch.
That's one of the ones where you just let go of the wheel. Like, even if you've got a Logitech G29, like you're driving this thing on a controller, you just let go. It scares you.
Absolutely, yeah. No sense in getting... Yeah, like you said, even if you don't have that force feedback turned up, your natural instinct, you're going to release that wheel right there as the field has doubled up here. And we're about ready for another restart here, Sky. I'm going to stop saying that this is the final restart of the night, Sky. I've learned my lesson here from the last couple.
Well, we're getting close here. We're going to go green with what looks like about 9 laps to go in this race. It's going to be a dash to the finish for sure, whether we get another caution to make it an even shorter dash or not. These cars up front have really been survivors. Adam Holston, Aaron Esp, Jacob Cochran, all guys who have really come through the field to be able to be up here, and guys who have been really consistent, have stayed out of trouble. They've had some mishaps. Esp had a bad pitch strategy, dropped to the back, but he managed to get himself back up here, and he's here in crunch time, and that is all that really matters.
Absolutely right here is Adam Holston in that Holston Concrete number 8 right here. Looking to maybe see if he can... He's been close this season. He's been up there, up in contention all season, but he's going to see maybe if he can seal the deal here tonight as the pace car makes its way down pit road. Holston with a good launch right here. Going to separate himself from the second and third place drivers as not so good of a restart right there for Aaron Esp.
No, he couldn't get it going on the top, and Janik is just trying to push him to get anything going on that high line, but it's not working. Caleb Hunt in the 78. Big run on the inside. He's trying to push through for third on the inside of that 16 car. Cochran, he's been up front all race. Now he's looking for the win as we come to 8 to go.
Here comes Jacob Cochran right there trying to narrow up that front stretch. Take the shortcut right there on the apron of the racetrack. Oh, a couple cars get together back behind them. I think that's Brett Wren, and we got another crash.
Oh, get a couple other cars getting involved in that. That's Hinson, who was 30 laps down and kind of just running for points at this point. I don't think he's going to get any points at this point. He was 3 laps short of getting 1 point for beating Alex Pollock, and instead he will be out.
Yeah, the 24 right here, Brett Wren, was the first one I saw all around, and we did see triple digits right there on the heart rate monitor. So got up to 100 beats right here when this crash happened. Yeah, and it looked like maybe some contact right here between he and Chris Medford. Looks like Chris was to his outside, and I don't think that Brett knew that car was out there. It was really, really close right there, and unfortunately for these drivers right here, and Christian Barnes going to take some damage as well. Been a pretty quiet night from Christian. I think that Christian's had some damage. It's like Henson right here. I think that you mentioned him as well. It's like he's just going to skirt by there on the inside.
Another accident is just going to really lessen the amount of laps here when we go back green in this shootout. I mean, clearly the intensity has been up for the last couple of restarts, but now we're going to go back green under 5 to go. These guys have really got to go at it quickly.
Yeah, they do, and we're going to see on this choose right here, very interesting part of the race. I think that we're not making the choose this time. I think that we'll make it this time. It's probably the most pivotal choose of the night that we have to work with here, Sky. You know, this is going to be the one right here because, you know, we've seen all night the leader has had a pretty distinct advantage. I mean, they can hit the gas whenever they want to in that restart zone, but we've seen whatever lane it looks like the leader is in. Seems like the lane that really moves. So, you know, if you're Jacob Cochran, I understand wanting to possibly, you know, put yourself even with the leader, but you got to also look at, you know, the history as well and the trends all race and possibly think about, you know, maybe which lane that you possibly want to work with. Maybe you want to roll behind the leader here on the restart.
It's going to be a very interesting restart because obviously Holston is going to have the advantage. If the lights go off this time, that's going to put us at only 4 laps to settle the end of this race. So these drivers are going to have to go quick. You want to be up front. You want to be able to get a good jump to challenge Holston because if you can't, you've got a very, very limited amount of time to make that position back. You got to go now. I mean, there's just nothing else you can do.
Absolutely right here as the field makes its way here onto the front stretch. Is this going to be the one we're going to see right here? Going to maybe see if these drivers make the choose this time. It looks like they are. Caleb Hunt going to take the outside, it looks like.
All right, so with 4 to go, Caleb Hunt is going to be jumping up onto that front row. We'll see what he can do. The cars behind him, it's just going to be Janik right there on the outside. He'll try to push along with Robert McKay in 6th. On that inside, it'll be Holston. Jacob Cochran running 2nd before that. He will follow the leader. And Aaron S., we got a bad jump last time, and we'll settle back in 5th. We're going to come out of turn 2. Everybody getting anxious, getting ready to go. It'll be 4 to go.
And it'll be interesting to see if these drivers can keep it clean here in these final 4 laps or if we are destined for a possible green-white checker here to close us out here in Sin City. Adam Holston, and yeah, you mentioned it, Sky, that 84 of Jacob Cochran was running in 2nd before the choose and elected to restart in the 3rd spot behind Adam Holston. We'll see if that decision pays off for Jacob or if he possibly regrets it here before the end of the race. But I think the trends do show that possibly was the right move. But we'll see here in the final closing laps right here. It's going to be Adam Holston and Caleb Hunt leading the field to green. 4 laps of racing to go here at Las Vegas.
It's a good jump for Holston, but it's not as good of a jump as he's had on the last couple restarts. Cochran did a great job to stay with him. He's right there on the bottom. We're going to come through 1 and 2, and now Hunt, another good jump for him. He's staying up on that outside. Coming down the back straightaway, the top 3 are pulling away for the lead of the race.
Adam Holston right here looking to put a little bit of distance on Jacob Cochran right here through 3 and 4. Looks like Cochran got a little bit loose right here. After that great restart right here, he almost clipped the grass right there. He's trying to shorten up that front stretch so much. But Adam Holston is in firm control of the field right here as they make their way through turns 1 and 2.
He's opening that gap. He was faster last time around with a jump on that restart. Couple cars in the wall further back, but we're all straight, we're all green, and Cochran's going to make another dive up the inside. He is still in this fight, and as we come to 2 to go, it is far from over yet.
Man, Jacob Cochran really painted that white line through turns 3 and 4. That left front was all over the white line right here. And here he's looking to the outside, looking to possibly gain some momentum. Oh, his Holston's a little bit sideways right there through 1 and 2. That's going to enable Cochran to have a run down the backstretch.
He's going to look to the inside, but he's not going to get there. Cochran still behind Holston at the minute. He's going to look back down to the inside. Nothing going on. He is going to have... Whoa, he's in the wall. That's going to really hurt him. Hunt makes the move for second. White flag for Holston.
White flag is in the air, presented by Whiplash Sim Cams. Holston in the lead right here. Caleb Hunt making the great move into second spot, taking advantage of that mistake right there from Cochran. Cochran may be looking to battle back right here to the inside of Caleb Hunt. But meanwhile, up in front of them, it's Adam Holston. Holston, who has been consistent all season long, is going to take advantage of all the mayhem here at Las Vegas, and he's going to win in Sin City.
Adam Holston gets it done, and he's going to get to burn it down from 4th to 1st. Led 17 laps with some great pit strategy there. Puts that 8 car out front to get the victory.
Great job by Holston tonight. Great job by all of these drivers to persevere after all the mayhem that we saw. It was clean and green for a while. We talked about it, Sky. It was really clean and green for stage 2 especially. But these drivers, when they decided to let it rip, they definitely did. And Adam Holston, he is going to be the last man standing tonight. But he was fast all night, Sky. He was up there, up in contention all night. And he definitely earned this one.
For sure. And now he's going to get to burn it down here at Vegas.
And while he burns it down right here, we're going to see if we can locate our top 3 drivers to see if we can get a word with each one of them. And we'll probably start with that number 84 car of Jacob Cochran. Jacob Cochran is, especially after what we saw him do last week, not surprised at all to see him have the speed that he had here tonight. So we're going to see if we can pull Jacob Cochran down here into the broadcast booth. Jacob Cochran, our 3rd place finisher tonight. This is a Slingshot Racing Media booth. You got a copy?
I do.
Man, Jacob, we saw you up there near the front all night, just like how we saw you up there near the front all night last week at Martinsville. Talk us through your night. It seemed like it was clean and green for a while there, and there was just a lot of mayhem there in like the last 30 laps.
Yeah, you get on a groove, you could get some green lap runs. Cautions breed cautions. So we were up front for a little bit, and then kind of got in the back a little bit more, but made our way back up to the front towards the end.
You definitely did, and we saw you definitely make a challenge right there on Adam Holston. It seemed like it was really, really difficult to complete passes tonight. It seemed like that inside lane, when you try to get to the inside of a driver with all the bumps, especially down in 1 and 2, it was really, really hard to complete a pass on that driver that maybe you were trying to get around.
Yeah, 1 and 2 on the bottom. If you hit the bumps right, it would get sideways with you and lose all momentum. 3 and 4, I could roll the bottom pretty good. I never hit the wall out of 4 until the very end. But overall, I mean, it was pretty good.
Well, next week, Jacob, we've had some very, very different. We've had a diverse schedule here in the last few weeks. And we're going to head to the high banks of Bristol Motor Speedway next week when the Mystic Racing League Xfinity Series tackles Thunder Valley. What are your expectations for yourself there? Are you looking forward to it?
Yeah, looking forward to it. I mean, Martinsville was pretty good for us. Bristol's kind of similar, but there's a lot of high speeds up on the high line. So definitely going to need some practice, but, feel pretty good about it.
Well, we're looking forward to seeing you tackle Bristol Motor Speedway next week. Before we let you go celebrate this 3rd place finish tonight, you got any shout-outs?
No, just, thanks for everybody. Thanks for the Mystic League and, everybody that supports it.
Well, we appreciate it, bud. That's Jacob Cochran, our 3rd place finisher tonight. Great result, man.
Thank you.
And that is Jacob Cochran, our third place finisher tonight. And that is going to bring us to our second place finisher tonight, Caleb Hunt in that 78 machine. And Sky, I'll turn it over to you.
Yeah, Caleb, you got a copy?
Yes, I do.
Congrats on second place tonight. Walk me through those last 4 laps there in that final restart.
Man, I wish the outside would work on restarts. It's brutal. Like, you can't get no run off of the restart. It's very hard to make a pass. You fall back a couple cars and you have to find a hole and hop in it on the inside before the back stretch or whatever. But it's just hard. I was hoping I would have some help behind me and give me a decent push where I could stay up there with the 8 car on the restart to have a decent side-by-side battle coming with a few laps to go. But I guess that wasn't the case.
All right, well, tell me about your pit strategy tonight, because you were on a little bit of a risky one before the caution started to come out.
Yeah, I seen everyone go down pit road. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna see who has all their tires left, and I was hoping everyone would take their last set right there, and I have a few laps extra of freshies on it. But I guess everyone on that last pit stop or two had fresh extra set of tires. I guess it didn't work out, but we didn't fall too behind. We got lucky and got a caution, which that helped us a lot. That's what I was hoping for.
All right, well, talk to me about managing the tires today. I know that's always a thing on these mile and a halves. How'd you hold on to the tires to get P2?
Well, the right front was killed. I can say that. The track changed from being loose to extremely tight, and like I had to make a quick adjustment and basically drive the car differently than I would have wanted to, but it worked out at the end.
All right, well, anyone you want to thank or shout out tonight?
I want to thank Mr. Brendan Willard, the league owner, for putting this on. He's doing one heck of a job. My friends and family back home watching, shout out to them.
All right, well, congrats on P2 tonight, Caleb Hunt.
I appreciate it.
And while we were talking to him, I think Chris has gone and he has caught back up with our winner tonight. That'll be Adam Holston.
And we're going to bring Adam Holston into the broadcast booth here. He's been consistent all season, and he's going to bring it home in victory lane tonight. Adam Holston, this is the Slingshot Racing Media booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Man, Adam, we talked about your season. We talked about how you've been up there in contention all season this year, Adam, and you got the job done here tonight. Talk us through your night. It seemed like at different times we saw different drivers on different strategies, and it kind of made it a little bit difficult for us to follow here in the broadcast booth. Talk to us about your night. Did you have any close calls out there?
No, I didn't really have any close calls. Just that first stage, I got into the wall a couple times and fell back. But other than that, it was really just a big field position race, and once I got up front, I was doing anything I could to not fall back to the back again.
Yeah, Adam, it seemed like, in the other drivers that we talked to, that it was very difficult to complete passes tonight, and it seemed like when a driver did get out there in that clean air, especially with the bottom of turns 1 and 2 being so rough, it seemed like that was, very, very difficult to maybe try to complete that pass, on somebody. Did you feel like maybe when you got that track position and you got to the lead, as long as you didn't make any mistakes, that you might have had it?
Yeah, definitely. Especially when I seen the 84 get in the wall. I think it was coming to the white flag. I definitely was sure I had it. But like you said, that rough part in 1 and 2, that was my biggest issue through the whole race. Was just hitting those bumps. It would get me tight, and I was worried through them last couple restarts that would, get me up in the wall or something. But I just played it safe over those and kept them behind me.
Now, Adam, next week we head to a very different racetrack than what we experienced tonight. We go to Thunder Valley, Bristol Motor Speedway, the half-mile bull ring. Do you think that maybe you can make it 2 in a row next week at Bristol? What do you think about your chances there?
Yeah, I definitely think I got a shot. I've had some really good luck in the past at Bristol and good speed. I'm not sure how it's really going to play out with the weather, but we'll see how it goes, and I definitely think I can go for 2 in a row.
Well, we're definitely going to be watching. We're definitely going to be eager to see if you can make it 2 in a row next week at Bristol. Before we let you go celebrate this great victory tonight, you got any shout-outs?
Yeah, I'll shout out my man Ricky LaFleur out there in the crowd, and I'll shout out my team, 5 Star Racing and 9222 Paints for the clean paint scheme he got me with. And I'll thank Mystic Racing League for putting on the show.
Well, we thank you, Adam Holston, for definitely entertaining us tonight. It was a great race to watch, and a great victory for you tonight in that number 8 machine. That's Adam Holston, your winner tonight at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Congratulations, Adam.
Thanks, sir.
Well, Sky, it was a night filled with action and a lot of hard hits tonight for a lot of drivers, but at the end of the night, it was Adam Holston still standing at the end of this thing. Man, it was just quite an entertaining night right here, Sky. What's the biggest thing that stands out to you?
I think it was just the amount of pit strategies that were played and the amount of cars who were able to come back from unsuccessful pit strategies and still get a good finish tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And at the end of the night, Adam Holston, he persevered through it all, bringing home his first victory of the season here in the Mystic Racing League Xfinity Series. Rolling through the top 10 right here, we've got Adam Holston bringing home the victory. Caleb Hunt in second. You heard from Jacob Cochran as well in third. Evan Janik with all of his issues, Sky, going to bring it home in fourth. Aaron Esp, we thought for a minute there that he had the strategy before that rash of cautions there towards the end. He's going to finish in fifth. Brandon Berardi had some speed all night, going to finish in sixth. Great result from Robert McKay tonight in the seventh spot. Brandon Medford in eighth. Douglas Wysocki in the ninth spot. Joshua Gillen, we want to thank Joshua for engaging in our chat tonight while he raced. He's going to bring it home in the 10th spot. Scott, you want to pick up from here?
Following back from them in 11th tonight, it's going to be Reggie Keem. Back from there, Christian Barnes in 12th and 27th. Brandon Willard, 13th in the 12 with Bradley Knopsnyder, 14th in the 87. David Meyer, 15th in this 47 car. Zach White, 16th in the 77 car. And we're starting to get to some of the cars who had early exits who had major issues on pit road. Derek Jewett, 17th in the 45. Brett Rinn, 18th in the 24. Chris Mefford started on pole, had a great run going, but ultimately finishes 8 laps down, 19th in the 46. And Michael Wade, another car with a great chance, 20th in the 3.
Yeah, a lot of drivers right here, Sky, that their finishing position is not indicative of the speed that they had tonight, specifically thinking about Derek Jewett here, Chris Medford, and Michael Wade as they finish in the bottom half of the top 20 right here. Aiden Tebow in 21st. We saw him in good position there towards the end, but unfortunately he is going to finish in the 21st spot. Malcolm Capo right here in 22nd. Gavin Henson in 23rd. Alex Pollock in the 24th spot, going to round out the field tonight. Sky, what a great night of action here tonight. Great night at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Great night for Mystic Racing League and us here at Slingshot Racing Media. We can't thank you enough for filling in for Ellis tonight. You did a great job, and man, we really do appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for having me. It was a ton of fun. We had a really great race here tonight.
We absolutely did. These drivers, they never failed to disappoint, and they did not disappoint tonight either. I want to thank all the fans for tuning in tonight, all of our viewers, all of our loyal viewers, and all of our viewers who may be tuning in for the first time. You sure could do us a favor if you were to like and subscribe to our channel right here. It doesn't cost you a thing, and it only helps our channel grow, puts maybe your driver, your family member that you are here watching in front of more viewers, and we would love that. Next week, we'll be back on Thursday night for some more action in the Mystic Racing League from Bristol Motor Speedway. It should be just as action-packed as it was tonight here at Las Vegas. For Sky Shrek, I'm Chris Smith. For Slingshot Racing Media, have an awesome night, everybody.